Good day, everybody. Good day. Since coming back from vacation, I have been so busy, but I'm still tuning into the news, right? I'm tuning into the news. I'm on social media. I'm all over. Um, Now, so much to talk about, but I can't talk about everything right now. But there's so much to talk about. I could talk all day, all day. But the nationwide um, is it nationwide blue dot poll is out, and over 50% of Jamaicans approve of the job the Prime Minister is doing. The wonderful job Jamaica Dr Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, is doing. I call him. You notice I say Jamaica Dr Andrew Holness because you're two political leaders in Jamaica, major political parties. One is British, one is Jamaican. So when I refer to Mark Golding, I said the British colonial leader, Mark Golding, as opposed to Jamaica Dr. Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, because that's what it is. Before I go there at the Blue Dot polls, let me say this. I supported Edward Seaga back in the day. But can I say this and be blunt with you guys respectfully? Choosing my words carefully, respectfully. But can I be blunt with you guys? The days of having leaders of the likes of Michael Manley and Edward Seaga are over. The days of those two men who didn't look like us, those days are over. I'm sorry. Those days are over. Right? Let me repeat. The days of Michael Manley and Edward Seaga are over. We're not electing anybody like those who look like those people anymore. It's not happening in Jamaica, my friends. There's no reason to go back to those days. There is no reason to elect people who look like Michael Manley and Edward Seaga. I'm using my words carefully, choosing my words carefully, without coming across as if I'm racist. I'm not racist. No, I'm not. But the days of those days are over of electing people who look like Michael Manley and Edward Seaga. We're not going back to those days. Right? We can't be celebrating Emancipation Day and choosing leaders that look like those people. What are we? We can't be celebrating Emancipation Day on August 1st and electing people who look like those people. Again, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Right? We're supposed to be a proud people. Mark Golding is one of those people. Mark Golding is one of those leaders who look like Michael Manley and Edward Seaga. Sorry for throwing you under the bus, Edward Seaga. I love you, but hey, rest in peace, sir. Rest in peace. Let's rest in peace. But Mark Golding looks like Edward Seaga and Michael Manley. Mark Golding, the British colonial leader, Mark Golding, looks like Edward Seaga and Michael Manley. We're not going back to those days. Those days are over. I'm sorry. Right? Mark Golding is a descendant. Let me put it another way. Mark Golding's ancestors are descendants of slave owners. and colonialism. His ancestors, the difference between him and us, his ancestors are descendants of slave owners and colonialists, right? Jamaica Dr. Andrew Holness's ancestors are direct descendants of slavery. They were in shackles, bondage, right? So we're not going to choose somebody whose ancestors are descendants of the slave masters, of slave owners. Not while we're celebrating Emancipation Day. It doesn't make sense. Right? If that's the case, get rid of Emancipation Day. Get rid of it. Right? He is not one of us. That's it, bro. That's it. There's no going around, coming around. That's it. Right? He recently was a British citizen. We had to force him to give up his British citizenship. But let me say this now. I don't know if British colonial leader Mark Golding was born in Jamaica. I believe he was born in England. I have no proof. I'm not saying he was. I believe he was. This is my belief, which I'm entitled to. Right? Until he provides his birth certificate, then I will not believe that anymore. Provide your birth certificate, British colonial leader Mark Golding. Please provide your birth certificate so it can change my mind that of my belief that you were not born in Jamaica. This is my belief that you were not born in Jamaica. My belief, my thinking, I believe you were not born in Jamaica. I'm not saying you weren't. I just believe you were not. Okay? I believe you were born in England. That's what I think. Provide your birth certificate. Provide your birth certificate, please. Why should Jamaicans choose a leader who does not look like them? Why? Why? Why should we throw a leader out who we are certain was born in Jamaica? We are certain that he's one of us. Why should we choose the British colonial leader Mark Golding? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't. I'm going to the gym, so I have to be I'm on my way to the gym right now, right? So I have to make it quick. Moving on. The latest nationwide Blue Dot poll series of polls are showing good news for the JLP, for the Jamaica JLP. I notice I say Jamaica JLP as opposed to the British PNP. Because the British PNP does not put Jamaica first. They don't. They oppose anything that's good for Jamaica. Anything. Darrell Vaz introduced a rural bus service in St. Thomas. Guess who was against it? The British PNP. You can't make this up, bro. You can't make this up. If the PNP were to do that, I would applaud them. I would applaud them. The British PNP is against it. Murders are down by 42% across Jamaica. But the PNP went to court, right? Or went to court and is celebrating the decision of the Constitutional Court that the series of states of emergencies across Jamaica were unconstitutional. How did the PNP think crime went down? By saying abracadabra? Abracadabra and it just went down? No, sir. It went down because of states of emergencies, zones of special operations, beefing up the police force, giving them the tools they need. That is how it went down. That's how it went down. Murders went down by 42% because of all those things. The states of emergency played a pivotal role in reducing murders in Jamaica. It did. But the British PNP is against it. The British PNP is against it. And so the courts too, because we know the courts in Jamaica are predominantly pro-British PNP. We know that. They support the criminals. Just like the British PNP support the criminals. The British PNP support criminals. They do. They hate anything that's good for Jamaica. The British PNP. Why? I have no idea. Right? The nationwide Blue Dot poll says if an election were called now, the JLP will get 38 seats. I already said that over a year ago. That the JLP was going to get anywhere between 35 to 38 seats. I said it. I know what's going on, man. I am a political historian and a political analyst. I've been doing this since high school days in 1983. Yeah. I said the JLP was going to get in the mid-30s, the upper 30s seats. Anywhere between 35 to 38. And Blue Dot says 38. It could be anywhere between 35 and 38, seats. Right? The people have given Jamaica Dr. Andrew Holness a resounding mark of approval that he's doing a fantastic job. They're not listening and watching the fake media in Jamaica. That's saying otherwise, or giving the impression otherwise. Young people realize that this Prime Minister, Jamaica Dr. Andrew Holness, is doing a great job. Jamaica has never been better since independence. Has never been better than it is right now. Never, 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 never. Jamaica has never, ever been better since independence as it is right now. Never. Poverty is down to a record low. Unemployment is down to a record low. Debt to GDP ratio is 68% at a record low. Oh my God, I could go on. Why do you want to turn back? Why would you want to turn back? Let's continue the progress, my friend. Let's stick with the mission. Show our labor rights. Third term, show our labor rights. Show our labor rights. Shower. On to victory. I gotta go.